Hello everyone, you're looking at a live view from Gangneung, South Korea. Here this beautiful building is a performance venue as South Korean audience are lining up to enter this venue and our troupe from the DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is going to perform here shortly. Welcome to watch our live webcast. I'm Xinhua News Agency correspondent Mu Xuyao. A 140-member art troupe from the North Korea will perform here. The art troupe is Samjeon Orchestra. It will hold a concert for South Korean audience to celebrate the upcoming Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. This art troupe is led by head of the all-female Morambon band, Hyun Son-woo. They arrived in the south on Tuesday. They have been rehearsing since yesterday. The concert is going to take place tonight in Gangneung, a seaside city that will host all the ice events for the Olympics near Pyeongchang, the main venue for the Winter Games. The art troupe will also perform in South Korea's capital city of Seoul on Sunday. According to South Korea's Yonhap news agency, popular South Korean songs are said to be included in the repertoire of North Korea's Samjeon Orchestra, including some all-time popular pieces such as Lee Sam-hee's To Jay and Shin Son-boo's Man is Ship, Woman is Port. Apart from popular South Korean songs, some well-known Western music is also said to be included in their performance list. This art troupe is actually composed of musicians from several famous North Korean music troupes, including Samjeon Band, Morambon Band, Chombong Band, the State Symphony Orchestra of DPRK, Mansa Day Art Troupe, and the State Merited Chorus of the DPRK People's Army. The Samjeon is a classical music orchestra with 50 to 80 elite musicians known for the wide variety of their repertoire. Here we can see some audience are waving flags, welcoming the art troupe. Apart from the art troupe, a 280-member North Korean delegation crossed the inter-Korean land border to South Korea Wednesday for the Winter Olympics that is set to kick off later this week. Led by Sports Minister Kim Yong-guk, the North Korean delegation includes 229 cheerleaders, 4 officials of the National Olympic Committee, 26 demonstrators of Taekwondo, a traditional Korean martial art, and 21 journalists. The 2018 Winter Olympics are set to hold an opening ceremony Friday at South Korea's eastern county of Pyeongchang. It will mark the first time in 13 years that DPRK cheerleaders root for both South and North Koreans athletes in an international sports event hosted by South Korea. The North Korea has sent its cheering squad, composed of hundreds of cheerleaders, to the 2002 Asian Games, the 2003 Summer Universiade, and the 2005 Asian Athletics Championships, all of which were hosted by South Korea. And now this is footage from earlier today. For those who are just tuning in, you are looking at a live view from Gangneung, South Korea. This beautiful building is a performance venue where an art troupe from North Korea will perform here shortly tonight. During an inter-Korean talks in January, the North Korea agreed to dispatch its athletes, cheerleaders, and ranking officials to the South Korean host Winter Olympics. Seoul and Pyongyang also agreed to march together under a unified Korean flag at the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics and cheer together for both athletes. The two sides plan to field a joint women's ice hockey team, the first inter-Korean Olympic team. Now our correspondent at the scene will take some interview to the audience who will watch the show. And before that, just some background information about this North Korean delegation, the art troupe. The art troupe is comprised of 140 members. It is called the Samjeon Orchestra. It will hold a concert for South Korean audience to celebrate the upcoming Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. The orchestra is composed of several famous North Korean music troupes. For this year's Winter Olympics, Thomas Bach, president of the International Olympic Committee, hailed the efforts of the organizers made amid the political tensions on the Korean Peninsula and the message of peace that the Olympics has sent to the world. As the time for the Winter Olympics is counting down, organizers said everything is well prepared and they are ready to present exciting games to the world featuring friendly competition and communicating a message of peace. Organizers also said Pyeongchang is expected to receive a record number of 2,925 athletes to compete in more than 100 events, with the support of a total of nearly 56,000 crew, including 14,647 volunteers. Apart from the art troupe, a 280-member North Korean delegation has already arrived to South Korea Wednesday for the Winter Olympics that is set to kick off on Friday. The efforts for inter-Korean detente took step forward as North Korea has decided to send a high-level delegation. This delegation will come to South Korea by a private jet to attend the 23rd Winter Olympics. The private jet is scheduled to arrive at the Incheon International Airport in West South Korea on Friday. The jet will not be on standby at the airport, but will come again on Sunday evening after going back to the North Korea. The high-ranking DPRK delegation, led by Gangneung, president of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly, will stay in South Korea from Friday to Sunday to attend the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics. During their stay, the delegation is expected to meet with senior South Korean government officials, possibly also with the U.S. delegation led by Vice President Mike Pence. Included in the DPRK delegation is Kim Yong-jong, the first vice director of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. She is a younger sister of top DPRK leader Kim Jong-un. South Korea's presidential Blue House said the younger Kim's visit will have a more significant meaning. This will be the first time for the DPRK to send such a high-level delegation to South Korea since 2014. However, the North said the visit by the high-level delegation to the South is solely for the purpose of the Olympics and is not politically motivated. For all the viewers, join us now. You're watching a live webcast brought to you by Xinhua News Agency. Don't go away. This is a live view from Gangneung, South Korea. In this performance venue, an art troupe from North Korea will perform here shortly. Audience have mostly already entered this building to watch this show. The art troupe from the North Korea, led by head of the all-film Moranbon band, Hyun Sung-woo, arrived in the South Korea on Tuesday. Apart from Gangneung, they will also perform in Seoul on Sunday. The two performances are for celebrating the upcoming Pyeongchang Winter, which will open Friday at South Korea's eastern county of Pyeongchang. This art troupe is comprised of several famous North Korean music troupes, including the Samjeon Band. It is a classical music orchestra with 50 to 80 elite musicians known for the wide variety of their repertoire. South Korea's Yonhap News Agency said popular South Korean songs as well as some well-known Western music will be included in tonight's repertoire. The security is heightened around this performance venue, as this is one of the most important events taking place here in Gangneung, South Korea. Here you can see a group of people are waving a flag. This is not an average flag. It is a unified Korean flag. Seoul and Pyongyang agreed to march together at the opening ceremony of this Winter Olympics under a unified Korean flag, which is this flag you can see at the opening ceremony. And they will also cheer together for both athletes. The two sides plan to field a joint women's ice hockey team, the first inter-Korean Olympic team. Relations between Pyongyang and Seoul began thawing since the top DPRK leader Kim Jong-un announced in his New Year speech that the DPRK would participate in the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. Since then, the two sides have held several rounds of talks on cooperation in the Olympics. This flag is what I mentioned earlier. It's a unified Korean flag, symbolizing peace between the two Koreans. The last time North Korea took part in sports events in South Korea was in 2014 at the Asian Games in Incheon. But the two sides did not make any ritual ceremonies to signify their will of reunification in future that time due to tense relations between Pyongyang and former right-wing South Korean President Park Geun-hye. However, since his swearing-in last May, South Korean President Moon Jae-in has been vocal in de-escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula. The Pyeongchang Winter Games is considered by President Moon to be an opportunity to mend relations with Pyongyang.
Okay, what's your point of view about the performance of the DPRK troupe? It's been a very long time, right? So do you have very big expectation about the performance? And do you have any expectation about the peace, about the against the war, about the war? Do you have something to say? And do you think the performance of the DPR case or troupe is a good thing? For the peace of the peninsula, right? Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Who are you and why are you here and why are you here tonight?
남측 통일 응원단 학생들이고요. 저희는 부산에서 왔는데 지금 북측에서 선수들하고 응원단하고 이제 공연단이 온다고 해서 반갑게 맞이하려고 인사하려고 왔어요. 맞습니다.
And what does it mean that there are North Koreans here tonight for the country?
정말 오랜만에 두 나라가 만나게 된 건데요. 그러면서 오늘 이제 평창올림픽의 의미는 평창을 끝나고도 더 평화로 나아가자고 다짐하고 약속하는 자리가 될 것 같고요. 지금 이 예술 공연과 그 여러 가지 경기 그리고 단일팀이 돼서 함께하는 경기와 응원들이 앞으로 우리 나라의 평화를 가져다 줄 거라고 기대하고 있습니다.
Hello everyone, that's all for our show tonight. Thank you for watching our live webcast. This is Mu Xuyao with Xinhua News Agency. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for more breaking news, feature stories, as well as live reporting. Wish you all have a good day or a good night. Bye bye.